Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this particular show here. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, there are a good amount of voices out there in the media that believe that LeBron is the greatest player of all time. I'll give you some names: Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, I believe Colin Cowherd, who is it? Kendrick Perkins, Jay Williams, and there may be somebody else that I'm missing. But there are a good amount of there are a lot of personalities out there that definitely believe he's the greatest of all time. There's no question about this. And these guys have major platforms where they give their views. ESPN is well known for being a network that sucks up to LeBron. They just do it. There's no two ways to say it. That's like LeBron James propaganda machine. There's just no two ways to say I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. Every time you open up Instagram, they're posting something about, that's just the way it works. Now, obviously, maybe that's how the sports world works. You continue to market a star, but they definitely push for LeBron hard. Now, this morning, on the show with Keyshawn Johnson, Max Kellerman, and Jay Williams, they were addressing some comments that LeBron had to make about the lack of activity in the front office of the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron basically said they know what the hell they need to effing do in terms of making a trade and pulling off a trade. Now, obviously, who are they going to trade? I don't know. It could be Russell Westbrook, could be him, could be Anthony. Who knows? No one really knows what that means, right? So in the process of discussing his comments, one of the people that work at ESPN, he threw in a comment where he said, when LeBron gets the scoring title, is going to be the final nail in the coffin. And then Max Kellerman decided to jump in when Jay Williams was starting and basically shut him down. So what we want to do is we want to play that exchange for you guys. It's a bit lengthy, but I think you guys should listen to it. And then we'll come back and unpack this thing. Take a listen to that.
What are we doing? The trade deadline, February 9th. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Are you making moves to allow LeBron James to have a chance to legitimately have a shot at winning a championship in this next year and a half, 2-year window? Because if not, what are you doing, Key? And that's a question that Rob Pelinka and that Jenny Buss need to ask themselves. Because if they don't, they are wasting the talent of what I've said to be the best player I've seen in the game of basketball ever to do it. Now, you quarrel with me, Michael Jordan, whatever it may be. But at 38 years old, he's still doing this kind of stuff. You're wasting his career if you don't put the pieces around him to win right now.
Yeah, and now the other thing is, though, if you think the team's going in the wrong direction, those first-round picks that he doesn't care about, those could wind up being the first overall pick in the draft eventually, right? Like, it's a tough spot the Lakers are in.
Yeah, I understand what LeBron is saying, but I also understand what Jeannie said several months ago, where she was taking the reins back away from Clutch and away from LeBron James. So it seems like that is exactly what's happening right now, because if they're not active in the trade market, then this team will be the same team essentially after the deadline comes and goes. And I think that is what LeBron James is probably alluding to. But Jeannie Buss, if you remember, Jay, she said, I've got to take control again and not allow people to do what got us into this situation to begin with. So maybe that's what it is.
Key, I got a question for you.
And I have an answer for you.
Jay, I got the same question for you too. So, Bron's about to pass Kareem this year. Does it matter where the game happens? Like, if it happens in LA, Key, do you think it's going to be received differently? And Jay, how is this going to be received by guys like Max who love Michael Jordan? Because this is the last nail in the coffin.
Well, I think people in LA will applaud it, and that's what it is. But it's not coming with a championship. So if it was coming with a championship, it would probably feel a little bit different to the people in LA. The people in LA are just like, okay, cool.
And most of the points didn't come with the Lakers.
Excuse me?
Most of the points didn't come with the Lakers.
Oh, no, they did not.
That's the big thing.
They did not.
He's
a Laker, but he's not a homegrown Laker. And you say, well, Kareem wasn't a homegrown Laker. Yeah, Kareem played 20 years with the Lakers, man.
Shaq, too.
Those are kind of like homegrown guys.
Yeah. But see,
this is more like, Jay, They consider LeBron here as a rental.
Yeah.
We just waiting. We keep renewing the lease.
Yeah, he gets another one though. They'll start
Yeah,
to feel
but
a little different.
it's
He needs
fine
at
if
least one
LeBron
more.
wants to lease a place in Malibu. Like it feels like this is more of an NBA conversation to me than how Laker fans are going to feel about it. This is
Absolutely. No,
about
that's what I'm saying. It's
cementing himself
Laker fans
as
are
the
just
greatest in
whatever.
NBA history, as the all-time leading
That
scorer.
Jordan ship has sailed, but he could, but like him and Kareem is a good comparison, for sure. I mean,
But he's a
him-
non-scorer, though,
Man,
right?
how could you?
No, he's a
How
great
could you
scorer.
say him and Kareem? Man, Kareem, but you can't talk the NBA without mentioning Kareem.
No doubt. I think it's a good comparison, though. It's hard to talk NBA without mentioning LeBron, too. LeBron has had a miraculous
Yeah,
career.
of course.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard to mention the NBA without Michael, without LeBron,
Mount
Kareem,
Rushmore.
Magic. You can't just talk about the NBA without mentioning them, dude. You
But, like,
got to mention
so
them.
I'm saying, like, playing against Michael Jordan at that later state of his career, like where LeBron is different.
Yeah, LeBron is
It's different.
LeBron is a
It's-
better old player than Michael Jordan was, and he's had better
Man, LeBron is
longevity
22
for
years old
sure.
right now.
But peak performance, Michael attained a higher level of peak performance.
So you heard the exchange there. The first time that guy first said it, Max Kellerman let it go. But then Jay Williams said it. And it's just Jay Williams was about to get into this whole thing. Max Kellerman was like, yeah, that Michael Jordan, LeBron James ship has sailed a long time ago. And then he finally put the last two-piece nugget and elbow into him when he was trying to make his final point. Here are my thoughts on that exchange. Listen. Some LeBron fans have to get this concept. First concept is this. If I don't view LeBron as the GOAT, it doesn't mean I'm a hater. It just means that I don't, and I think there are other people that are better than him, number one. Number two, I don't have to have your opinion. A lot of LeBron fans struggle with this. They want you to agree with them by force. People feel that Jordan and others were better. Now, if you listen to the guy in the show, he said, and it's the reason we put up a particular poll, he said, when he catches Kareem for the scoring record, that will be the final nail in the coffin for the GOAT debate. Now, why is this important? Because the minute I heard that, I decided to put up a poll on our channel. And before I put up the poll, I obviously knew it was a very stupid poll. But nevertheless, I put it up to basically make a point. And the poll simply said this: if KD ultimately captures the scoring record after LeBron James, should he then be considered the GOAT? Of the people that have voted, and I believe it's about 3,600 people in about 5 hours, 87% said no, 13% said yes. One guy even said, I really like your content, but this is just flat out stupid. You should know that more goes into it than this. I expected more from you. What he was responding to was a comment I put up, which was simply this: I specifically put up this poll to show the stupidity of saying the GOAT of the NBA comes down to a scoring record. But if you listen to that dude, he was saying that's the final nail in the coffin. What you just heard is a primer, is an appetizer for what you guys are going to be hearing in the next month when LeBron finally ultimately passes Kareem and these guys come out. They're going to now say that he has won all these titles, he's done all these different things, playing at this elite level, and therefore he is now the greatest player in NBA history because he caught Kareem. And that's why I got to call a timeout. For the people saying that Kevin Durant cannot be the greatest player of all time if he gets a scoring title, then why is so many people willing to put so much of an emphasis on it all of a sudden? This thing is all about looking for the angle that fits your argument. To me, Michael Jordan is not just the greatest player ever just because it's the cool thing to say. There are a lot of reasons why MJ's resume is unparalleled. It's just unparalleled. It's coming from a Kobe guy. It's just not close. The only other person I believe that can come in the same consideration with him, in my personal view, is if you go look at his accomplishment list, is one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Apart from that, I think you'd be hard-pressed to say anybody else comes close to Jordan. Let me tell you why I believe Jordan is the GOAT, and it's not questionable. And I don't think you have to get into the peaks. You don't need to waste a second of your time getting into peaks and valleys and flows and all that stuff. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Here are the facts. No one made people care more about basketball as a sport, as a source of entertainment, than Michael Jordan. Not nobody. Nobody. Jordan took the world by storm. And he did that without the advent of social media. The numbers that Jordan was bringing in from a rating standpoint into the NBA, it's not even close or comparable to what you get now. Go look at Jordan's numbers in terms of the people viewing in the NBA Finals in 1997, 1998, or 1998 season, whatever it was. Go look at those viewership numbers. You pull up a fine. The last one that came close was the Warriors-Cavs, and I think they were like 10 million viewers off, or 5 million viewers off, or 6 million viewers off on average. On average, that's number one. Number two, the sneaker phenomenon. Jordan was not the first player to have sneakers. You had Dr. J, I believe it was with Converse. If I could be wrong, but I think it was with Converse. You had Magic Johnson. You had Larry Bird. You had a few others. Jordan came in with Nike and just completely changed the sneaker game. Revolutionized it. To this day, no other shoe sells more than Jordan's. None other. No other. That counts when you go into the GOAT argument because you're looking at the cultural impact one player had. I haven't even started talking about what he's done on the court. Let's get to that part now. What resume are you honestly going to bring me to tell me that it's better, not comparable, better than Jordan? Who's the person? Who is the person? I can't say Kobe. It's not. Kobe was an incredible offensive player. Kobe has 2 scoring titles. Jordan has 10. He has 10. Kobe Bryant made the all-first defensive team 9 times, made it overall in terms of, he made 12 times like Jordan. I think 9 first, 3 second. But Jordan has a defensive player of the year. As a Kobe guy, I can't argue around that. That is a major sticking point for me to say, got to knock him down a peg. Then Kobe has 2 finals MVPs. Jordan has 6. I can't argue that point as well. Then if you look at his just the playing style, I got to give Jordan a slight edge over Kobe. The next person you may bring is who? LeBron. Okay, let's say you want to bring LeBron. What angle are you arguing? What's the thing you're arguing? Jordan has more of everything in terms of accomplishments than LeBron. There's nothing to argue. Literally nothing. There's not a single point you can base. You can stick to and say, okay, you can't. If you're talking about offense, it's laughable. It's a laugh-a-thon. Comedy Central. Kings of Comedy. To talk about these guys are comparable offense, it's a joke. It means you're a basketball neophyte and you're a twerker. You twerk for a living. There's no way you can tell me that you're not up there twerking it up if you say that these guys are comparable when you talk looking at offensive numbers. And we're not even going to mention the eye test, which, by the way, is very important because I'm sorry, basketball is a spectator sport. I'm watching it. And if your playing style is not appealing to me, I'm going to hold that against you. The eye test actually matters. Have you seen Jordan play basketball before? Have you seen him play? Have you seen his fadeaway? Have you seen his jump shot? Have you seen the way his creativity in the air? Jordan has 6 finals, won 6 championships. Who cares about the amount of times you win? We're talking about how many you won. He won 6. LeBron has lost what? 6. So there's no argument. You can't even say there's nothing. Because then, even if you want to get into that, you're never going to find a time in Jordan's career when he went to the finals and he put up the type of numbers LeBron put up while playing with 2 Hall of Famers. It never happened. So Jordan was already the GOAT before the scoring record. He was already the GOAT. And for the people that believe that just because, that believe that, that poll is dumb by saying that KD all of a sudden becomes the greatest player because you have to look at other things, it is going to be just as dumb to the rest of us when he ultimately does capture that record. And for you guys to come out and say, well, it's over. It ain't over because it never started. To me, I think LeBron is probably going to end up being a top 5 player in my view, although he dropped. He's going to be a top 5 player. But the distance between him and Jordan is a distance between heaven and earth. That annoys people. But the fact of the matter is, it is true. It has never been close. If you take away social media, if you take away people twerking it up on TV, and you just look at it, it's not close. Jordan went 8 years, his team, without losing 3 games in a row. That is by far, way more impressive than going to the finals. It's like going to the finals 25 times. Do you know the level of dominance you have to go 8 years? Forget about 8 years. Go 2 years. Go 2 years where you don't lose more than 3 games in a row, more than 2 games in a row. And to do that for 8 years? What are we discussing here? What are we discussing? Now, let me say this. I know there's some people out there like, man, these people going to come up here twerking it up all over the place. When he capture that record, what are we going to do? I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around. Y'all going to definitely see me. Ain't nobody going to be putting on them. Ain't nobody going to be throwing no ones on me. I ain't twerking for y'all. Nobody's throwing no ones at me. Catch y'all on the next show. Peace.